Hello! This is the One Episode Rule, a podcast about first impressions. I am Magpie, and I almost forgot we were recording today because I am in the middle of completely rearranging a living and recording space.
Hell yeah.
Gotta
I,
move.
I am moving this setup into a different room, and it's taking a lot of effort. How
Big
are
task.
how are you guys doing?
I'm Blackle. I'm doing pretty good. Kind of tired, but it's normal.
Hmm.
Normal to be sleepy.
It's normal to be
Normalize
tired.
being sleepy.
You said that right as I yawned. Hi, I'm Joey, and I'm here to talk about my favorite anime, Lord of the Rings.
Oh yeah? You want to talk about it? We can talk about it.
There's not much to say. We just watched Lord of the Rings.
We watched Ralph Bakshi's Lord of the
Yes.
Rings, which is unhinged.
It was really good.
Let's put it this way: is after we finished, all of the people watching in Discord's icons had suddenly become frames from the movie
Because they were so funny.
because everything was very funny.
But anyhow, I didn't
Man,
watch any actual anime this week, unfortunately.
that movie's rotoscope sections are so weird.
They're like nightmare inducing.
They look like an
and
80s metal music video.
I'm kind of obsessed, not gonna lie.
All right, you guys want some?
Scares me.
You want some news?
Yeah, let's have some news.
We're gonna have like a product news sandwich, so come along with me.
Ooh, okay.
So Square Enix has announced they're continuing their Masterline statue series with a
Oh boy.
Final Fantasy VI statue of Terra. Let's see. Let's hit some details here. Depicts Terra the Esper from the game, mounted atop a Magitech armor, and I'll grab a link because it's something to look at. It really is, and put it over here.
This is pretty cool, actually.
It's a 1/6 scale, and let's see, it's going to be limited to 600 pieces worldwide, with 150 pieces reserved specifically for the Japanese market, and pre-orders for the price of 11,500 USD.
What?
Purchase.
$11,000. Okay. You're shitting me.
Or 1,485,000 yen, or 10,694 euro.
The new Kaiji plot is Kaiji goes into debt to buy one of these.
Kaiji goes into debt to buy a statue of Terra from Final Fantasy VI. It's fully designed by Yoshitaka Amano, so. But
Goodness.
that's like
expensive.
that is a car.
That is a car. That is a vehicle.
Or at least a motorcycle.
Yeah.
Next up. Normally I wouldn't cover this, but it was so striking that I said. Miyamoto from Nintendo has pushed his way onto the Nintendo of America Twitter to yell that that after consulting with Chris San, his partner at Illumination, the Super Mario Brothers film will be moved to next year.
All right.
I think Miyamoto also directly announced the Chris Pratt voice role, which is making him like kind of a Twitter terrorist now.
Oh God.
But that's all of that. We can expect to see that in spring 2023.
Alarming.
And finally, I have to say, and I'm gonna get an image of these for you guys. The wait is finally over, and you can. Well, let me change it. Let me change how I'm gonna go at this. You guys heard of Zion Williamson?
No.
Zion Williamson is apparently a new the new hot shit in basketball. He's real good, but he's sitting out right now because he's injured. So he's looking into building his sneaker catalog because that's
Oh
that's
boy.
the mark of success for a basketball player.
Mm-hmm.
So with his approval, you can in a couple of months probably. It's just been revealed. You can probably get your hands on some of these Naruto themed Jordans.
Oh
Fuck
my!
yes.
Look at these
Look at
whack
these
fucking
fellas.
sneakers.
Fuck yes.
Are these normal Naruto characters?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's one of them is Naruto.
That's Naruto.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
he's
two
got
of these might be Naruto.
he's got. It's a shonen fight anime. He's got forms. All right.
Wait,
I just
are
assumed
all
it
of
was
these
just the orange
Naruto?
boy and
Okay.
that was it.
I
Yeah.
don't I don't know.
This is Alien Naruto, Fire Naruto, and Demon Naruto.
It's Renamon Naruto.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Renamon Naruto.
That should be
Anyway,
the title of the episode.
if you listener aren't particularly up on your basketball sneakers, you should take some time out of your day to view these whack fucking shoes because they're a hoot.
They're far too much.
Um. So yeah, that's the news. Sneakers and overpriced statues
Hmm.
and no Mario.
No Mario. No Mario?
Um. I've got something I'd like us to watch.
All right, let's have it.
You thought you were gonna pick, but no, it was I, and I want to see Blue Period,
Blue
Oh,
period.
the
yeah.
anime
Okay.
about going to art school.
Fuck yeah. Let's do it.
You know, I have it on good authority that it probably shouldn't be blue.
I'm sorry.
Easy there.
Oh. So you're going
Right.
for the joke that I would have made in the intro, huh?
Yes,
But
I stole it from you.
Steeled myself.
It shouldn't be
Willikers.
blue.
Windex.
Christ. So this is an art anime.
Who wants this? Who wants this blurb?
I can read it.
All right, I've posted it.
Second year high school student Yatora Yaguchi is a delinquent with excellent grades, but is unmotivated to find his true calling in life. Yatora spends his days working hard to maintain his academic standing, while hanging out with his equally unambitious friends. However, beneath his carefree demeanor, Yatora does not enjoy either activity and wishes he could find something more fulfilling. While mulling over his predicament, Yatora finds himself staring at the vibrant landscape of Shibuya. Unable to express how he feels about the unusually breathtaking sight, he picks up a paintbrush hoping his thoughts will be conveyed on canvas. After receiving praise for his work, the joy he feels sends him on a journey to enter the extremely competitive Tokyo University of the Arts, a school that only accepts 1 in every 200 applicants. Facing talented peers, a lack of understanding of the fine arts, and struggles to obtain his parents' approval, Yatora is confronted by much adversity. In the hopes of securing one of the 5 prestigious spots in his program of choice, Yatora must show that his inexperience does not define him.
All right.
Is this going to be an art battle anime?
I think it's more appropriate to consider it in terms of like sports anime,
Yeah.
but with paintings.
Yeah.
So let's get into it. I gotta say, I haven't been taking notes recently. This one actually made me kind of want to take notes because I wanted to write down my thoughts about it. But
That's
Yeah.
funny because I took way less notes this time.
all right, so let me see if I can remember what goes on. So basically, we open on Yato Yuguchi and his friends in a bar because they're older high schoolers and you can just drink in Japan. Um, uh, they're watching a FIFA game Yeah, they're pulling they're pulling an all nighter. They're getting sloshed at the local sports bar, and then going out for ramen afterwards. Uh, in a little joint, but Yatoro does have to go home before the rest of them because he never stays out on a weeknight. And as he blows past the door, there he sees a advertisement for a Picasso exhibit. And he said, anybody could do those.
He's
I
like,
could
I
do
could do
those.
that.
We follow him home into school the next day, where he gets high marks on his exams, and his friends remark about how much of a genius he must be, uh, which secretly actually seems to somewhat sting him because he did it all through hard work.
Hmm.
And as we follow him, we sort of get the impression that he's doing these things, he's building relationships and getting good grades because he's supposed to. It is a task that's been set before him, so he's doing it to the most of his capability, but he doesn't really understand why.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you're just kind of going with the flow, sort of deal.
uh, and it during the school day, he's hanging out with his friends during an art class, which good for Japanese high schools having compulsory art classes. Somebody should be teaching these kids some fucking culture. Mine was an elective.
Yeah, same.
Uh, when they receive their assignment to paint their favorite scenery, and his one of his meathead friends goes off about how his favorite scenery is being buried between a girl's tits.
Big old titties.
And his teacher's like, yeah, you should totally draw that.
He's
Yeah,
just
it's like, how
she
do
just
we? The teacher's like, how do we capture the essence of the
it's just
titties?
like, is your girl busty then? Can you
I
capture
hope
the
you're able
soft
to capture the softness and bounciness.
softness and bounce of them? And they're just like this. They're like this old bitch is crazy, and that's when I realized that my favorite character in this show is Miss Saiki, the art teacher,
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's good.
because she is a force for chaos.
Mhm.
um. Anyway, moving on. Uh, her commentary interrupts. Oh my god, I've forgotten his name. Uh, Yadara interrupts Yadara as he was about to give his friend a cigarette. Uh, them, I don't think you're supposed to smoke as a teenager in Japan, but I can't. I don't know if there's like hard limits on it, like there are in the U.S.
Hmm. Right.
Um,
I mean, they're drinking.
they are drinking, and smoking is extremely commonplace in Japan.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There
Pretty
was a
much
period,
literally anywhere but here.
yeah. There was pretty much like anywhere you went in Japan, I would say at least 10 years ago that you would have encountered somebody who was actively smoking. But anyway, so he leaves him under the desk and goes about his day, encountering another character that will become important later, Ryushi, um,
Mhm.
uh, who leaps over one of his friends while running down the hall.
Yeah, that was quite
That
the
was a
quite
that
the
was
power.
a that was a hell of a hurdle. That's some technique.
Mhm.
Um, anyway, he
This was missing the bread in her mouth, and then it would have been.
yeah. Well, she had the canvas on her back.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
Just that's simply what is a wrapped canvas but a large toast. Um,
Yeah,
You're so right.
but
so correct.
anyway, he goes on about his day. Goes home exhausted.
Mhm.
Collapses on his bed to come face to face with a pamphlet about choosing his career path for the next 2 years
Yeah.
because oh
No
boy,
pressure.
some things anime doesn't many of the shows that we don't go into is like the real pressure of Japanese high school, which is, hey, lay out your whole life path right
Uh-huh.
now.
Yeah.
You
Right.
you think they do that in American and Canadian schools? You can't fucking imagine. You gotta apply to your fucking technical colleges with like enormous amounts of references and shit.
Yeah.
Whereas in the States, if even if you're a fuck up like me, you can still go to community college and take criminology or something. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
what the fuck we were studying to be Batman, but anyway. Um, so yeah, he's face to face with the fact that he has to choose, and suddenly remembers, ah, shit, I left my cigarettes in the
Oh
art room.
man.
So he has to go all the way back to school. I assume he walks too, which is just another
Yeah, another inconvenience.
inconvenience. So he has to walk in. Japanese high schools seem to be like really active after class. People just
Yeah.
be walking in.
Mm-hmm.
My old school, like, classes would end and everybody would go out to the bus, and unless you were going to the gym for some sort of practice, they would just close that shit down.
Yeah, no,
They would be
like
like, get out.
specifically like clubs. Like there would be some amount of clubs after school, but like if you didn't have one of those specific clubs, you better not be there, essentially.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
Better
like,
get the fuck out of here.
I knew people who had practice in clubs who would get constantly harassed on their way to and from them
Uh-huh. Right.
because of people being paranoid about teenagers being in an empty school.
Uh-huh.
But anyway, he goes back to find his cigarettes, and in the art room, after he opens the door, encounters a 6 foot tall oil painting in the progress of being done, and is stunned by it because
It's like, oh shit.
it's an enormous canvas, and one of the figures has already been done, and the artist is painting it in a sort of a Renaissance, a Baroque style. So it's got that sort of gravity to it. Um, it it reminds me of a couple of Victorian pieces I've seen. But anyway,
It's very good.
um, what's that guy's name? The guy who painted all the women that made it abundantly clear that this man wanted to be topped by a witch. I can't remember his name,
I don't
but it reminded
remember.
me of that. What
That's very funny though.
lot of pale women with dark eyes and sheer
Uh-huh.
loathing in those paintings. But it reminded me a little about that. But it was only halfway done, so one of the figures in it is green, which really captures his imagination.
Mhm.
He's just like, "Why
Goblin.
are you a goblin?"
Goblin detected. Goblin
Oh.
spotted.
And he's so entranced by it that he almost touches it, and he's called out by the girl from earlier, who is
Mhm.
standing behind him, and says, "Please don't touch that. It is not dry yet."
Yep.
That
Uh,
is not for your mittens.
Are you looking to join the art club, or are you looking for these? And she has his cigarettes. Okay,
Uh-huh.
weird thing here. I I think she's got like a weird thing about him specifically, because the normal response to seeing somebody's cigarettes sitting somewhere is to go, "Oh, it's somebody's cigarettes."
Right.
Or if
Or
you're a
hey,
smoker,
free fig-
or if you're a
free
smoker,
cigarette.
contemplate taking them.
Yeah, I'm movie like maybe I could have one.
And let me put it this way: back when I used to smoke, I haven't not taken a package of cigarettes that I found. I, I
uh,
always would wait until I passed by them like 3 or 4 times without them moving. And I would just be like, okay, they've clearly forgotten this.
uh-huh. You're like, and these are mine now.
According to the laws of the land, these belong to me
Yeah.
because I am poor and require them to steady my nerves. But
Mm.
so yeah, and she decides to to drop a little Sherlock on him with the fact that, oh, you're a social smoker, huh? The package is crumpled, but most of the cigarettes are still inside.
Yeah.
You should, if you don't like it, you shouldn't ruin your health for your friends. Which really pushes his buttons, and
Yeah.
they get into a little bitch off. They're both kind
They
of little bitches.
they have a little argument. That entire conversation was really needlessly antagonistic on
Mhm.
both
Yeah.
of their parts.
They were being little bitches,
Uh-huh.
which, from my experience with the artistic community, is entirely accurate.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, they have their little sniping match, and he drops some real old school like misogynist shit for a second
Mhm.
because
I missed that. What'd he say?
he's just like, oh, you're in the art club and shit.
Oh,
Well,
right.
you can't make a living, can't make a
Yeah, you should
living at
get
that
yourself
shit.
a sugar daddy with that pretty face of
You
yours.
take that pretty face and
God.
find yourself a man. And she's
It's
just
like,
like,
hello?
she's just like, oh, you bitch. I thought she was going to drop one of those busts on him.
I know, right?
she's
Yeah.
this whole conversation. She's manhandling two. I guess they have to be plaster busts because marble would be too
Yeah.
scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's too strong.
Maybe even
It's
like some sort of paper mache, potentially.
She cannot be challenged. In the middle of this, look who's popped up from nowhere. It's Miss Seiki. And I forget exactly what she says here, but he does apologize for being rude to a club member because he's been caught out by an adult that he actually appears to respect.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, they have a short conversation about like passion and what do you and what you do for a living, and the fact that Pablo Picasso was obsessed with money
Mhm.
and would compromise his style to paint patrons in their preferred styles. Uh, so yeah, so he goes out for another all nighter with the boys,
The boys.
um, to clear his mind, and yeah, they go to the same bar and watch more soccer matches, and he can't he can't get into it. He feels strange. He feels unfulfilled. Like there's no point to any of this.
Mhm.
Uh, and later on during the night, they've washed out of the bar and into the ramen joint, and out again, and he's having a smoke, uh, leaned up against another.
She's taking a drag.
She's taking a drag.
Easy there.
I forget the rest of it.
Yeah.
But
My stomach is sick, and yeah.
yeah, so on and so forth. But he's having a smoke, leaned up against another Pablo Picasso poster in Shibuya, um, taking in the atmosphere of the deserted uh, early morning Shibuya, which is quite uncommon. And as he's helping his drunk friend along, he remarks that it's like isn't Shibuya kind of blue at this time in the morning? And his friends razz him. They're just like, "Oh, we get all poetical and shit on us."
You are a poet now.
And he's just like, "No, no, no, I'm not. Shut up.
His face like turns completely red.
Yeah, you cannot touch me. I am not vulnerable." So, so yeah, so we cut from there to the back to school and back to the art class in particular, where they're taking their 2 hours to paint my favorite scenery from earlier, their assignment, and while his friend is literally painting painting someone's tits and is done in 1 minute, and
Yeah,
declares
Tits are
loudly,
done.
"The tits are done."
It's done.
The
Boobs.
pits have completed.
It's very funny.
He can't drive it out of his mind, so he paints that blue Shibuya that he saw, and yeah, sketches it out with pencil over there. And later on, as all the works are being exhibited in the ways that schools like to do with artworks from their students, and his painting gets quite a bit of attention, uh, which causes him to have a mental breakdown. The girl who hates him likes it until she sees his name on it.
And then she's like, I shouldn't have complimented
She's
this
like,
one.
oh shit. Oh. When they finally get looking at it, his meathead friends see it and say, "Oh yeah, Shibuya is kind of blue like that in the morning." So that's how you see it, huh?
Uh-huh.
Which leads him to have like a more vulnerable like moment in his life than he's ever had because he is
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
he's
having a
just
genuine conversation with somebody,
he's like overwhelmed with the emotions.
and
It's
it
like
is too
yeah,
intense.
it's really cute actually.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
So that lights the fire in him to continue this shit, but he's still torn about it because you can't make a living doing that shit.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So he's at home and he's sketching. And the whole time he's thinking, this is pointless. This is pointless. And he looks out his window and he sees the golden rooftops of the suburb of Tokyo he's living in, and he has to sketch them out.
He's like, there's no point to doing this. Just like they're
Sweating.
Yeah.
they even play like scary like dramatic music.
Mhm.
uh, and yeah, he ends up taking his sketchbook to Miss Saiki. Well, they do help. He goes to help them with the big painting because the artist. Oh, I skipped over the part where he was talking to the artist because the
Yeah.
artist of the big painting is not the rival girl; it is a different girl, and she explains to him why the other figure is green, which is it's an old Baroque painting trick where you
Hmm.
paint in with green and then you paint in with what is it over it? It's like
Uh,
yellow and red.
yeah, the reds.
Uh,
They're like contrasting, but they
to,
like
to make the skin vibrant.
yeah.
Um, and they have a conversation about it, and he remarks that she's so talented. And when he says that, she says, "No, I don't like that. It just it diminishes the hard work that I put in. I'm not
Hmm.
talented. I study art a lot, and
Yeah.
I practice techniques." And this strikes a nerve with him because he didn't like being called a genius earlier because he put
Hmm.
in the work
Exactly.
to learn the material and get his good grades.
Uh-huh. He's like,
Mhm.
ah, man, I just did the same exact thing.
He's just like, I've done the same thing to you. Oh God. Oh
Yeah.
God. This is
I
too
picked up
much. I'm
everything I
being
hated.
weird in public now. I've only just met this person and I'm shaking. But so yeah, he agrees to help. Oh yeah, he gets summoned up at the end of the day, at the end of the school day, so before he can go off with his meathead friends to the same bar and the same existential crisis by Ryuji, the girl, uh, the girl who hurdled his friend and demeaned him, um,
Mhm.
asking if he was free to help out with moving the giant painting because it's enormous.
Mhm.
Uh, and yeah, they pull it up because that's what you got to do, and they have a conversation about art universities and how the artists I forget what her name Mori I think it's Mori how she's going to use this as a recommendation piece for one of the schools. I think it's MOU. I couldn't say. Uh, and she's applying to a few others because of how cutthroat the art school world is.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Uh, Ryuji at the same time. can't decide on any to apply to. She's been to so many like school festivals to see their programs. While our boy Yatora is listening to this and taking down his painting, the psyche invites him to paint with them after helping out, and he can't. He can't
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I'm
until
unable to at this time.
much later when he brings his sketchbook back to her and says, "I was hoping that you could tell me how to improve,"
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
which is a real turning point because talking to anybody about your art is difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
um, and she points out it's just like, oh, you should use more perspective here, make the students in the front smaller. Or you should, use this kind of grid to draw a box figure.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And during this, he says he really does say it's just like, do you think I could do this?
Yeah.
Because I have feelings now and I don't understand them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what to do with these feelings that are inside me now.
Uh, and she says, well, you work hard, but I do warn you that Tokyo University of the Arts only accepts like 0.05
Yeah, it's
of
very
their
competitive.
students because it is the only public art university available to people in the city. There's
Yeah.
plenty of private uh, art universities, but he
Yeah.
simply cannot afford the tuition.
Mm-hmm.
She
Uh,
also gives him some like decent advice, which is like you can still do art and not go to art school.
and you don't have to go to art school to do art.
Hmm.
But if you go to art school, even if you can't make a living at it, you will improve your
Hmm.
ability,
Yeah.
which really does push him over the edge because he says, "I join the art club?"
Yeah.
That's pretty much the end of that episode.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I wanted to say that I didn't know that this show would affect me so deeply
Like it's emotionally very nice.
because yeah, I was just like, that's right. Art is the language that you use without words.
Hmm.
Oh.
I understand the struggle of trying to communicate to other human beings with
Hmm.
with speech,
Uh-huh.
and I also understand that it is difficult to support yourself in this way. And I watched this and I was just like, I kind of wish I'd try to go to art school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aw.
And I don't think I ever had a chance to go to art school. We didn't have any money.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's the thing.
Public art schools aren't really a thing in America.
No.
Yeah.
But yeah, what did you guys think?
Um.
I liked everything but the animation.
Oh yeah,
I thought the animation was really uh um
I didn't see like any hitches or anything.
it just seemed like there was kind of an inconsistency in the art style, and it seemed like they were really, I don't know, their budget sort of showed, which I mean isn't horrible,
Hmm.
but yeah. That's the thing, is that's like, of the things, that's the worst thing, and even that wasn't even that bad.
I didn't even
I.
check that. So
Yeah. No, I thought it was fine, honestly. But
Yeah.
um,
I quite
I.
I quite liked the scenes where he was sort of floating in blue Shibuya.
Yes. 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 That was good.
Yeah.
That was good. Uh.
He had himself a
I.
little fused state while he was doing the painting.
Mm-hmm. That was nice, yeah. Just floating
Uh.
in space. It's
This.
like
This.
that
This
one.
had lots of eye candy
Mhm.
for
Yeah.
sure.
I really like that. I really like that link into the title because you're just
Yeah.
like, oh, they said it, but
It's his
Hmm.
blue.
the theming of Picasso and the words blue period actually having meaning in the story because
Right.
he paints the blue painting.
Right. Mm-hmm.
That's nice. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought the
There was
writing
good
was really
music in
good.
this too.
Yeah.
I like the outro music. It's pretty funky.
Yeah, they had like moments of that within the show too.
I didn't detect an intro. I assume there'll be one next episode or something because they had a cold open.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But what do you think about it, Black? You got thoughts?
I liked it. I mean, like I said, I think the only thing that I didn't quite really like was just the art style of it. I thought it was a little bit. It didn't do anything new.
It did do
Which I
one
mean,
thing.
like, it did do one thing new, which was like that watercolor, or not watercolor, but that painted face, like turning to look at him when he like
Yeah.
walks in the room. That
Yeah,
was
and
pretty
wink
cool.
at him. That was a
Yeah.
cool effect. I like that.
Yeah. But I think they used. There was some scenes where they used 3D models,
Mm.
and like 3D models can be done well, but they only use them for the characters, which I think is the weakest use of that
Mm.
technology.
Mm-hmm.
Like everything else in the scene seemed to be hand drawn except for the characters, which were 3D. At least that was my assessment of the scenes. But I don't know. These are I'm nitpicking here. I think it was a good show.
All right, good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any notes in your notes, Jojo?
Um, the moment when what's her face runs by and does the big leap,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
the one friend was like, "Was that Hirakabe?" And then you're like, "What the fuck does that mean?" And then they have like a little subtitle note that's like, "Yurikabe is a plank yokai, which is a wall that extends forever." And I'm like, "What the fuck does that mean?"
Notakabe. Oh, it's because she had the canvas on her back.
Yeah. It
Oh
was
man,
just that moment.
I remember Nurikabe now because they're in Neo, and if you go up to the wrong wall, they'll fall over on top of you and crush you.
Oh God. Oh God. Yeah,
I need to
that
know
is the
what.
right energy.
I need to know this name so I can look it up.
We'll type it to you later.
I'll send it to you. But yeah, how do we feel? Would we watch more of this?
Mm, here's my thing is I don't know, this was like eye candy for me, but I didn't have the same emotional response to it that you did, and also like I don't know, I don't usually go for the slow-paced shows like this that much.
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't think that I would watch more of this one personally.
What do you think, Blackle?
I probably wouldn't watch more either.
Hmm.
But
I guess
I
if
can
it was
respect
on.
it.
I
Yeah,
guess
exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
I guess I'll be going by myself
Aw, there's just so many to watch.
I know.
because
In it,
I want Yatara to succeed.
I do
I have
too.
I have nothing against the show. I wish the show well. I wish the show excellent grades at art school, but I can't. I have other things. I have other engagements at this time.
Yeah.
I want to see if this is like Aizuken, and it will be a bomb for my spirit.
Aw,
Yeah,
BALL.
I do have trouble consuming these like really artsy shows because my attention span is too small, and I'm like
I need a trigger. I'm falling asleep. Somebody mainline me a Studio Trigger production.
I need someone's ears to get cut off or something. Come on.
Please, for me.
Can somebody put on a sailor suit that turns into a mecha or something?
Me just continuously dropping hints that they should animate more kaiji, but
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess I'll watch some more of it and tell y'all about it.
yeah, tell us about it.
Tell us if it really rips.
All
Like,
right.
if it fucking, like, slaps
If it pops off.
severely, then maybe we can watch it.
It just turns into fucking stand battles, but with paint.
That's what I was saying. Is this like a battle anime, but for art school? Like that's a possibility.
But just
So we don't know
glaring
where
at
this
each
is going to
other.
go.
And
Yeah.
the big kanji are coming off of them. Go, 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 go.
Mhm.
I like the idea of a battle anime where, like, instead of them battling, they just like each episode is just two enemies that you think are going to battle, just like resolving their differences.
What if this is that, but then like the battle portion is them complimenting each other's art?
Yeah.
And providing constructive criticism.
Be
Yeah.
like, the way that you used the blue here and to
To convey the haziness of the scene.
Yeah,
Oh, my
right.
heart!
The titanium white. I can't believe you did a Bob Ross. That's brilliant.
you even put in the phthalo blue. Wow.
Wow! You shook the devil out of it.
So anyway, viewers,
Yeah.
if you want to tell us about the proper way to use Van Dyke Brown, you can do so at oneepisodecast@gmail.com.
And that is the word, not the number. You can also send us art advice on Twitter. We are also at OneEpisodeCast there. Or just show us your paintings. We'll look at them.
I'll look at them. I love
We're
a good
getting into a
painting.
good habit of telling people to do things at the end of the podcast that we actually want them to do.
A call to action that isn't some form of violence.
Yeah.
or depravity.
I mean, we accept violence too, but
Yeah.
be
that's
warned,
fine.
we will counter your violence. So.
I mean, it can be an art form.
Twitter has been and always will be a PvP zone.
This
Yes.
is true.
Correct.
This is true. The use of Twitter is a form of violence.
Correct. Even more so now.
Yeah.
I can't believe
can't.
you didn't come with me on this. I got real emotional watching this one.
Aw.
I have feelings about art.
I do too.
That's really
but
sweet.
I also
Yeah, me
have
too.
a million things to do.
Look, I did not say this is bad or that you shouldn't get emotional, but also like my attention span, it's shit.
I mean, this guy is nothing right now. Like he's like the LaCroix version of that one blonde kid from My Hero. But I don't care. I want him to express what it is.
Yeah. You know what?
It is important to me.
I can agree with you.
All right, let's get out of here before I make a fool.
Before
of
you have
myself.
too many feelings. You're not a fool.
You're not a
you're
fool.
good.
Your heart is inside of you.
It's beating so hard.
I should hope.